Hey everybody, this is Bonnie with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Yay! It's been a good week here. I'm feeling so much better. I was feeling better last week and feeling really good this week. I hope you guys are not getting this flu bug thing that's been going around. I tell you, if you have gotten it, you'll know it. But anyway, so glad to see everybody in the chat. I got lots of fun things to show you, I think. Before we do that, I wanted to say this to Kelly. Kelly, thank you for saving this live today. I did not have my settings. I thought I had done everything. There is like about 25 things you have to do perfectly to get this to go. And one of the things is to set it to public. I thought I was doing that when I was setting the time and everything. Apparently, I skipped that. Thank you, Kelly, for emailing me and saying, "Aren't you going live?" And I'm like, "Oh, I better check the parameters." And sure enough, it's set. So thank you, Kelly. And also because you're the first in the chat, I have a copy of this devotional that I think you'll really enjoy. This is written by the late Elizabeth Elliot Gren, who is one of my favorites, and she quotes a lot of other favorites in the book. So I'm going to go ahead and mail that to you. If you could do me a favor and just email me, bonniebay@me.com. That way I will know where to send the book. I do not keep records of emails. I'm not emails, of addresses. I know you're in Arizona, but that's all I know. That's all I can remember. So if you could send me your mailing address, that's what I should have said, not email, mailing address, and then I will get to you. Okay. Um, okay. I'm already getting prayer requests. Wow, this is a crochet show. I promise y'all. But we're a group that we like to care for one another in ways beyond crochet. And anyway, so yes, Hannah says, please pray for Jet One In who has an appointment that she's really worried about. Okay, we will do that. Hannah and Jet One In, thank you for trusting us with that information and sharing that. Let me go ahead and just greet folks so I can try to get ahead of the live chat a little bit. I enjoy this so much more than anything I'm going to say here. Anyway, so Kelly, welcome. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I did read through some of your comments, and she's saying she's studying the Bible while she watches and listens. That's amazing. You can handle more than I can. Okay, let me see. Hannah is sending me something. Hold on a second here. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm just reading some notes. Hold on a second. Okay. Thank you, Hannah. Somebody posted DL Crisp about there's not a left-handed video on the watch channel for the new scarf pattern. I will check on that. There is one there. Perhaps when I uploaded it, something didn't, maybe I didn't check in a box somewhere. So thanks for letting me know. I will definitely check on that after the live has completed. But it is there. Okay. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and say good morning to Angie. Angie, good morning to you. And Rhonda, great that you're here. And Stephanie, good morning. And Rhonda says, two wonderful endeavors to Kelly. Yes, thank you, Rhonda. Yes, Kelly's a great gal. And yeah, I got that. Don't you love the AI when it corrects what you want it to say? Recently I've had it correct. I don't even remember what it was, but it totally changed the context. The word it changed it to had nothing to do with the conversation. And of course, it changes as you hit send, and then it changes it and sends it to whomever. And it makes you feel really smart. So yeah, I think we're all doing that. And then sometimes when I I'll mistype something and it won't change it or do anything. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I'm not probably not smart enough to really get into it and understand it, but all I know is I can also be irritated by it. Um, all right, Susan AB is in the chat. Great to have you here. And yes, thank you. I am doing well by the grace of God. Kelly says her back is killing her. I'm so sorry. And an upset stomach. You just need to get some rest, girl. Um, I'll get to that in just a second, Hannah. Okay, let's move this over here. And thank you for the reminder about hitting that thumbs up if you can. If not, no sweat, guys. You know me. I'm not hard and fast on a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm just glad you're here and taking the time out of your day. And Sandra Harper says, "Good morning, Bonnie and everyone. Happy Friday from Beaumont, California." Well, thanks for joining us. It's morning there still, I guess, right, Sandra? Oh, thank you, Kelly. She says, "I love the cables in the picture that's in the thumbnail. Do you like my little teaser, guys?" That's actually a little teaser of something to come. I can't give a hard date yet, but it is a throw. I think you're going to like it. I hope you like it. It's a lot of work. But I have a lot of charting to do, a lot of writing to do, a lot of video editing to do before I can do that. So I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to get that done and to have my tech editor get the pattern back to me once I get all of that put together. But as soon as we get close, I will give a reveal to you all. And if you are members of my free newsletter, the Bonnie Bay Crochet newsletter that I send out. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you want to get on the listing, and by the way, I always tell people I don't share this list. I don't share this information with anybody. It's just for us. And yeah, so you know the drill. I don't sell my email list ever. But it's free and you can get to it by going to bonniebaycrochet.com, which is my blog site. You just go to the home page and scroll down and you'll see where you can apply. I cannot send it to you unless I have your permission. And if you don't like it for some reason, that's fine. My feelings will not be hurt too much. No, just kidding. I understand getting all this extraneous mail in your mailbox, and if it's something you don't read or use, then no sense in having it delivered to you. But you can get out of it just even easier than when you get into it, because you have to give me your information and permission on this form that you fill out. I only send this out like a couple times a month. I am not a spammer. I do not do it every day, every day. You don't have to worry about that. I'm a one person team here, besides Hannah, others, but as far as doing that kind of stuff, I don't have a bunch of people working for me sending out information. No, and if there are mistakes made, it's usually me. So, and it's easy to find out what happened. All right. Let's see. Gabrielle says, "Hello, Bonnie. I'm finishing the Celtic throw. Thank you for that fabulous project." Oh, that's so sweet. "That accompanied me through a year of big decisions. God gave me strength, but that crochet pattern kept my sanity." Oh, that is so sweet, Gabriel. I'm so glad to hear that. And I've been in situations like that too, where just having something to do with my hands um, kept me sane. Of course, it was the Holy Spirit and the Lord doing that as well. But I think it's a means that He uses to help us. So I think it's okay to say that. Wanda Gordon, good morning to you. She says, "Good morning, Miss Bonnie and everyone. Beautiful day in North Carolina. God is good." Yes, He is. Yeah, it's beautiful outside. I went outside this morning without a jacket and was fine. Um, was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, I got to go out and have lunch with a friend, which I don't do very often, unfortunately. But was able to have a lunchtime with a friend, and we got to put the top of the Miata down because it was warm enough and the sun was just glorious. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these days. I need a slightly warmer day so that I can get all the gunk off the car, the salt from the snowstorms and whatnot. If you live north of the Mason-Dixon line, you know what I'm talking about. It's just been too cold to wash my car, and no, we don't have a garage, so it just gets pretty dirty and stays that way. Um, yeah, thank you all for taking care of Jet One and praying for her. That is so wonderful. And love to craft. Waving right back at you again. Thank you so much for your faithfulness. And Phil says, good morning from Rapid City, South Dakota. Wow. I hope everyone is getting a chance to visit your Joann's one last time and getting some good bargains. Yes, yes, I saw your post. Thanks for responding on that Joann's post. Phil was saying he got some good fabric, was it? And I remember one of them was velvet, and I love that kind of fabric. I use it every time I use my light box in my when I do my recording, because that absorbs the light, and it's just really nice. But anyway, the velvet. I think you said you got some kind of uh, like leather or faux leather vinyl kind of material. Yeah, Joann's is sadly going away. Last week I said there would be like 300 stores remaining, and I put a link in there to list, and that was information from them that was current at the time. Well, that's no more. Apparently, they are all going bye-bye. So if you need to get something from them that you can't get anywhere else, the time is now or never. Although I went to my local Joann's on Wednesday with my friend, and I did get some things. I got some things for an upcoming class that I'm hoping to teach in August. Um, but I didn't get any yarn, and there was just not much left. It was so picked over. It was just a sad thing to behold. But my store locally here in Gaithersburg is not one of the premier stores. It's not one of the bigger, nicer ones that they built. um, it's one that they seldom would repair or give any attention to, actually. So it's kind of sad though that it's going away. That reminds me, though, I need to tell you that there are scams and things abounding on Facebook and other social media sites. So you want to be careful not to click on them. Some are saying 80 to 85 or 83% off Michael's merchandise online. Don't believe it, okay? Not yet. And it will take you to a spammy site. One of our crochet friends, I think it was Paula, told me about this yesterday, and I just posted a scam alert on Facebook. So I think a lot of you got that if you're following me on Facebook and on Instagram. Um, but just do be careful. If you want to see what's going on at Joann's, just go straight to Google and joanns.com. Don't go through any of these links. If you're not sure of the link, don't click on it. Um, and as I told somebody online, is that I should be in jail over 100 times if I believed all the scams that have come into my email, telling me that, if you don't do this, we're going to come get you and all this baloney. I mean, don't believe stuff like that, and don't be frightened. And yeah, just go straight to the sources that you trust. Don't click on anything that you don't know. And yeah, that's all I'll say about it. But it's very spammy, and this site apparently will take your information, take your payment information, charge you. Whether you get anything or not, I don't know, because the site is in China somewhere, so it's not even in the States. So be careful out there, you guys. And I would just pray for a change of heart for those people who are preying on my crochet and crafting friends. I mean, that's pretty darn low. Um, okay, so Hannah had a question for me, and it's regarding this. This is the Navigator throw. And speaking of scam, even my friend Tiffany, I know some of you may have had trouble getting to her videos this past week or week and a half. Turns out about a week ago, somebody hacked into her YouTube channel and basically got rid of her material. I mean, cleared out her videos. I mean, how horrible. If someone did that to me, I don't know what I would do, because I have over 1,100 videos, and you just don't recover from that quickly. But she did get these up for us. So the blue panel and the white panel, they are back. You can check the video description here or in my videos for the different panels that I did in this particular project. That, again, this is the Navigator lap again. And I have the updated link to her blog post, which has all the links that you need to complete this. It was a collaboration that we're doing together. She does have free versions of this on her blog for the written pattern. The only version that I have available for this for you all is on my blog post, and it's free. And as you know, on my blogs, I don't put a bunch of advertisement. I don't make money that way. It's not a problem if people do. A lot of my friends, do pretty well and make money by having a lot of pop-ups and stuff like that on my website. But my husband and I decided that we're going to forego that kind of income, and we just didn't want to do it that way. So you can just get it from there, uh, no cost, and you're not going to have to spend, you don't have to print out 15 pages with ads to get the information. It's not that complicated. And so the question Hannah sent in is, how much yarn does this entire Navigator take? Well, let me go ahead and pull up the pattern because I really don't know off the top of my head. Here we go. So, and this is on the generous side with my estimates. You might have extra yarn. You probably will have extra yarn left over. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just post this in the video description of what I used. Okay, how many did I? Okay, so I'm using paint box yarn, Simply Aran. It's 100% acrylic, 3.5 ounces, 201 yards each. I used 8 in SA74, not 4 in number 202, and 8 in number SA68. Yeah, and that might be slightly more than what you will need. I'll go ahead and put it down here so you can look that up. Okay. And so yeah. All right. So the ones that I use the least amount is the dark blue, but the light blue and the white, 8 skeins, and I think was it 4 of the dark blue. But do feel free to use yarn from your stash. Don't feel like you have to go out and purchase yarn. So that just proves I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to make money. Well, I'm not trying to force you all to, oh, you got to buy this yarn and you got to buy my link or whatever. Use it, my link. But I do have an affiliate link to Paintbox Yarns if you're interested. If you're not, no problem. And if you have yarn, that you prefer instead of this, then that's absolutely fine. And if you're outside the US or the UK where this yarn is mostly available, you probably have something just as good, if not better, that you can locally source, and definitely do that. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Oh. Someone's asking about, can you see this denim jacket with the arms? Yes, this is my pattern. And I have a video on how, let me go ahead and show this. If you can see that, I put sleeves on both sides. Duh. So yeah, there is a video on how to make the popcorn sleeves, adding sleeves to denim, to a denim jacket. That is on my page. It didn't go very far. I think people were not that interested, which is fine. And just to let you know, I don't have a pattern per se. And the reason is every jeans jacket, the way the sleeve is inlaid and whatever, it's going to be different and different size. So I kind of give you the parameters on how you can cut the sleeve off in a particular way, leaving a little bit of an edge, and then using that as your template for what you want to do with your crochet. You can really do any kind of crochet as long as it's to the shape of that sleeve that you cut off. And then you make 2 and then sew them onto the jacket. It's really It's really not that hard. All right. And I do prefer sewing them on instead of poking big holes with my hook and crocheting it directly into the denim. I don't like to do that. I think it looks a little wonky, and I think sewing it by hand is just the way to go. All right. Um, Brat's mom is in the chat, says, "Good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and Becky, and my dear Yarnies from sunny and windy Southwest Chicago suburbs. Please, friends, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button." Thank you, Linda, for that. And DL Chris says, "Good morning. Wanted Bonnie to know." Okay, yeah, that's okay. I already got that. Hannah sent that to me. Yes, I will look into that once we get done here. Just a button or something. I probably did something wrong. And Brett's mom says, "I won't be in the live. I have to head over to a friend's house and make a delivery. I'll watch the replay." Well, thank you for being faithful to your friend, Linda. And Diane, so glad that you can join us from New Jersey. And Hannah, as always, glad that you're here with us. Hannah is unfortunately working from a cell phone today because her computer kind of uh, went to AWOL. And so she's going to have to wait patiently until we get down there and are able to help her. Wow, you can see right into my kitchen there. Whew. All right. I didn't know that. All right. And Margita, it's so great to have you in the chat. And Barbara, she says, "So happy to catch you live." So happy to have you here, Barbara. And okay, thank you, Kelly. So make sure you get that to me. And Carol, it's great to have you here. And Anna Sewing, welcome from Colorado. Ooh, I love Colorado. I just had some great times out there with my sister and teaching at Interweave in the years past. Well, let me see. Where did I'm getting lost already. So many. Wow, you guys have been so patient with me. Um, all right. We have Tammy from Oregon, Cindy and Denise, hello, and Lena and Kathy G and Kathy P, good afternoon, and uh, Krishanthi, if I'm saying that right, what a beautiful name, and Margita and Barbara. I think I just read that. Yeah, I did. Oh my goodness. And Ramona, see what happens is that all of a sudden things jump. It doesn't just scroll up, it just kind of goes boom, a whole bunch of new things. So I have to find out where I was. We have Ramona from Anchorage, Alaska. Wow, good morning, Ramona. I would so love to get up to Alaska at some point, maybe in the summer. And Beth H, so great to have you. She says Terry started her new job this week. Yay. Hours have changed, so I'm not sure if she will be joining. Well, tell her I am just glad that she's back into a job that she's enjoying again, Beth. That is such a great thing. And Carol says, "Hi from sunny and green Northwest Oregon." Says, "Yes, so sad to hear about Joann's closing." Whew, yep, nothing lasts forever, I suppose. Well, except the one, but yeah. And Laura from Naples, Florida. Love your site. Thank you, Laura. I love your state. I was born and raised in Florida, down further south of you, more on the east side there, but down in Hialeah. But Naples is beautiful. Uh, and Denise says, "I know I've been gone for some time, but I've been going through quite a bit. I'm glad I could make it today." Well, I hope things are okay, Denise. I still have you on our prayer list. Um, Thank you, Kelly, for sending in your mailing address. I'll try to get that to you this afternoon, but depends on when the mail person picks up, delivers the mail. Okay, and Hannah sent me a question from Laura. Says, "I'm crocheting a blanket for her." Okay, crocheting a blanket for her grandmother, 42 by 54, using a number 10 needle. How many stitches should my first row be in order to meet the measurements? Huh. Laura, gee, a number 10. Okay, well, I don't know that I have a number 10. Do I have a number 10? Okay, a J or 10. Okay, that's the 6 millimeter. Uh, That's a good question. Usually when you're crocheting with the size J, if I'm not mistaken, it's usually um like about, I don't know, between 12 and 14 stitches for 4 inches, but that's just a guesstimation. It's really hard for me to give you a number because there are many what we call variables in this equation. There's your crocheting style, the type of yarn you're using, the size hook, um, and you just have to experiment. What I would do is swatch. And there is a video on swatching, I think, on my channel. I think I remember doing one a few years back or several years ago. But what that means is you just do a sample piece that's maybe 4 to 5 or even 6 inches, just crochet a bunch of stitches and do maybe 4 or 5 rows so that you get kind of a square or a rectangle, and then measure how many stitches, use a tape. Do I have one here? Of course I do. I have the official Bonnie Bay Crochet tape measure. But then measure how big, measure maybe like a 5 or 6 inch, if you did it 6 inches, or whatever, 5 inches, whatever. Just measure how many inches, how many stitches did it take for me to crochet 5 inches worth of fabric. And then you take that and you do the calculation from there. So if it's 45 inches wide, so 9 times 5 is 45. So you take how many stitches are in 5 inches, multiply that times 9, for example, and that'll tell you about how many stitches you need for that specific size. Now, that's assuming you're not putting uh, an edging of any kind on it. Okay, if that makes any sense. So if you want to just private email me at bonniebay@me.com if you have questions on how to do that, just let me know. But I definitely, this is where you get into swatching. And as a designer, I do a lot of swatching. I have to before I start my project so that I know how big it's going to be, and so that things turn out within reason, especially if it's like a sweater or something like that. Um, so from Tammy says, "What do you use for your lip gloss?" Hmm. Actually, what do I have? I just have something new that I have in the other room that I found. It's just sitting on my table. Who is it by? I think it was at Bed Bath and Beyond. That's what it is, from Bed Bath and Beyond. It's either that or I use just regular kind of chapsticks that I get from Costco. Um, Gotta have something. Just being a wind instrumentalist for so many years, of having used chapstick just to survive. That's what I've done. All right. Let's see, who else do we have? Virginia says, joining this chat this afternoon, finally on time. Bless you for all you do. Thank you, Virginia. That is so kind of you. And we have Diane from Missouri. And Kelly, you are very welcome, my dear. And Felicia says, good afternoon, sis, Bonnie, and everyone. Felicia, thank you so much for being with us. And Jesse from Ohio. And let's see, Barbara says, I'm on row 136 of the Wild Irish Throw. It is beautiful. Yay! Please send me a picture when you're done. If you can email me a picture, bonniebay@me.com. And if you could give me permission to share on social media, that would be great. If not, not a problem. But I do like to ask before I share, because you guys make the best post on social media for me. So thank you. I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel or something. I just like to share. This is what my friends did. Yay. And if they can do it, you could probably do it too, is kind of what I'm trying to get, just to show people it's not just something that it's not just a one-off, but many people can make it. And by the way, I love the color choices that you all use in your throws. In fact, Linnell sent me a picture of her Navigator throw, and she used totally different colors. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you what they were, but they're beautiful and spring-like, and it just changes the design. It just looks so different, but so beautiful. So I just love, seeing all the different colors that you come up with. And speaking of which, Kelly mentioned about the thumbnail on this video. And yeah, the thing that I'm working on involves making cables one color and the background another. And I'll be releasing a video in the coming weeks on how to do that, or at least on the technique that I used in doing this. So I just want y'all to, kind of bump up on that and get prepared in case you want to do this throw, because it is using different colors. And yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do that. And I'm going to probably do more of it in the future. Okay. And someone mentioned about the jacket. I wanted to show you another one that I did this week. And this is really, I think I showed you this before I put it onto the back of the jacket. But this is a jacket that I wear a lot. And I added this beautiful granny. It's just one big granny square. And I just really like the way it came out. There was no sewing involved. And I'm going to be teaching a class, yay, in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, August 22nd through 24th, on transforming transforming denim with crochet. And this is just a sampling of what you can do. And what's really special, oh, I just dropped my book. What's really special to me about this particular yarn is this is yarn that I picked up when I was traveling with my husband, and we stopped at a yarn store that we found in Bologna, Italy. So this is yarn that you can't just go out and buy from Joann's or Michael's or any place like that. This is special yarn that I found there, and I just thought it was so beautiful. It's 100% mercerized cotton, and I just love, 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 love the colors. So anyway, this is just a sampling of one of the classes that is coming to Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. So if you've never been there and you want to see Pittsburgh, it's a great place to go. The classes there are very affordable. Much more so than a lot of other conferences. And they also have a fantastic, fantastic yarn market, at least two huge rooms full of vendors. And there are two or three vendors that camp out outside, and they have like these walk-in buses or trailers. They have like a compact store. Really, really cool experience. Just to let you know about another opportunity, if you're looking for a fiber festival or a chance to just get in the car and travel somewhere where you've never been. And this is a place I've never been, so I don't know much about it, but I will be teaching, yay, at the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival. This is October 23rd through 25th. This is this coming October. And if you're going to go, you may want to reserve a room at your hotel. The Delta Hotels Prince Edward on 18 Queen Street in Charlottetown is the place where the conference is going to be. Of course, you can stay at other places near there. It's always fun to stay at the main hotel if you can, because it's just easier to wake up in the morning, get your breakfast, and then go to class or do whatever. You don't have to take classes. You can just attend the festival. I don't know what kind of fiber market. I know there is going to be a fiber market there too, where you can buy yarn and whatnot. I don't know how big it is or much about it, but you're on Prince Edward Island. I mean, that's the home of Anne of Green Gables. I mean, so it's got to be amazing. And it's going to be in October. So we're going to be driving, and we're purposefully going to drive instead of fly. Partly because I'm paying for the transportation, but also my husband wants to come with me. So he's going to be traveling with me, which will be first in a long time. And usually I'm tagging along with him. He doesn't usually tag along with me, but he's going to tag along with me and drive. And we're going to be driving up, past New York, up through New England, through the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and up and through Maine, and, onto the Prince Edward Island. So consider that if you've never been up there and you want to, go on a road trip, maybe with a couple gals, think about it. I'd love to meet you. If you do get to do that, please let me know that you're going, and we'll know to look out for each other, maybe even do lunch together. I am not kidding. I just so enjoyed Pittsburgh because usually the last night we'll get a group of people who want to come with us and we just go out and go to the Olive Garden and get a really good meal together and usually close down the joint by just sitting around chatting about crochet and everything and learning it from each other. Um, the Watch Channel class I taught this past week was lightly attended, but it was so much fun for me. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that. We were using big, oversized yarn. This is extra chunky yarn. And I like to teach using circular knitting needles. And I think these are like size 13. Can't see, the numbers are too tiny. Okay, this is actually a size 11, but 11 is a pretty big size. But anything from that on up. And so we used large knitting needles, and you can see they're connected. And I love using the circular. I don't knit with the long single ones because it's just unbalanced for me. These are about the size of a crochet hook. And when you knit with the continental method like I teach, it's very similar to crochet. There are some things that are a little bit different, but if you already know how to crochet, I will dare say it's easy to pick up. If you want to be patient with yourself, it's easy to pick up. And I have videos both here on my YouTube channel for beginning projects should you want to learn. And I go very slow because that's all really I'm capable of doing, is going pretty slow. I am not a super expert knitter. I consider myself maybe I want to say maybe intermediate at that point because I've made some sweaters, and I learned how to do the Latvian braid. So that's a little more beyond the beginning stage, but I'm not that much. I'm not that far ahead of you if you're a beginner. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, so they're on my YouTube channel. And also if you're on the Watch channel, you have a recorded version of the same class that I taught last year. So if you're a Watch subscriber and you missed the class and you want to see a recording, you can watch a recording of this or of a class very similar. Actually, I think I went into more things in the class last year. So yeah. So definitely check those out if that's something that you're interested in. But the thing that I want to emphasize, with the needles and all, is equipment matters. And so does the yarn that we use. If you have some bulky weight wool, it works best. But if you only have bulky weight acrylic, give it a shot, and see what you can do. And you can always reach out to me, bonniebay@me.com. So let's get back to the chat. Susanna says, "Good morning, everyone. I'm on the final 5 ribbing rows of the ball morale throw. Ooh, in cherry red from Lion Brand Pound of Love. I would love to see that. It's a wonderful, rich red, and I am stoked. Love this pattern, Bonnie. Susanna, I would love to see that. I love working with red. I worked with this red color, as you know. I'll move this. I'll put this over here. As you know, the Christmas throw was in this beautiful. Whoop! There's my thing. All right, I pulled on it too hard. Okay. There we go. uh, so I love using red, and so I used the Lovecrafts red for the Christmas throw. But what I keep telling people is, if you don't need a Christmas per se, a Christmas throw, you can make the Christmas throw in any color for any time of the year. So, but yeah, I love working with red. And Hannah sent me another. Hold on. Thank you, Charlie. Oh my goodness. I'm flabbergasted. Thank you for telling me that. Saying Crystal, I'm a little embarrassed to even read that, but I'll read it. Crystal at Bag of Day Crochet says that you are the queen when it comes to crochet cables, and I agree. Thank you so very much, and thank you. I'm just flabbergasted that that Crystal even knows that I'm alive. um, she's just got like I think 1 point something million subscribers. And I was telling someone the other day, she's got to be the hardest working person on YouTube, not just crafters, but on YouTube, period. I mean, with all the content that she puts out regularly, and just has so many beautiful things. And I know caters to a lot of a lot of beginners as well. So yeah, thank you, Charlie. That was really sweet. And Carol, let's see. Hannah sent me this too, if I can get it to highlight. And I'm sorry, Carrie says, "Hello, Bonnie. I'm working on your Throw of Grace pattern. I'm loving the different stitches in the pattern. I've never tried them before. They are new stitches for me. I'm enjoying it." Well, excellent, 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 excellent. I tried to be meticulous when it came to recording the throw of grace as well as the Easter throw, because you're working these stitches, it's around the square, but we say in the round because you're not working in rows, but you're working in rounds. And I I got so much so much pushback about the woven stitch, not the woven, yeah, the woven stitch on the Celtic mandala throw. Again, it was during the pandemic. I was doing the best I could, but apparently, there's just was a lot of fussing about those videos, and I did my best. That's all I can say, folks. I did my best, and it was during the pandemic. I was away from home. Excuses, excuses, excuses. But anyway, I think they're adequate, for an intermediate crocheter. But what happens is a lot of times a beginner, an absolute beginner, will try to do something that's, way over their head, and have problems, and that's understandable. Or someone who says, "I'm an expert crocheter because I've crocheted, granny squares for 10 years." It's like, well, that's nice, but if you're not adding to your toolbox regularly, if you're not trying new things, staying with one stitch all the time, it doesn't make you an expert. Sorry. I mean, I don't even like to throw that, people throw that word around at me. I kind of like to push back a little bit because I don't know what they mean by expert. And it's just it's a little discomforting, if you know what I mean. But I'm definitely a big enthusiast. But thank you, Charlie, and also Carrie. So glad that that is working for you. Well, let me show you something. I'm going to show you something. If you haven't seen the video already, you can check it out on my channel afterwards. I go into much more detail, but I wanted to show you something. This is a fabric shaver. I have lost so many of these things in my stash because I don't use it enough to know where I left it. Okay. So this is really, really, really cool. And can save a lot of things in your wardrobe, not just your sweaters or things that you crochet, but things that you purchase from the store. And you know how, like, under the arms, you get these little bally fabric things that just make it look old and kind of ugly. Um, this is really nice because it's a fabric shaver inside here. I can get this. It's not easy to take off, which is good because you don't want this thing coming off unnecessary. Okay, I'm not going to bother taking it off. I'm not going to share that part. But I am going to show you what's inside here because it comes with two extra. These are cutters that spin around inside here. And these are razor blade sharp. Okay, very, very sharp. So you don't want to be touching these with your hands. You don't want to cut yourself. But what's cool about this is this spins, and I think because of the angles, the angle of, this is kind of cool. Now that I think about it, the angles of these blades are kind of placed like an airfoil on an airplane. If you know anything about physics with lift, when you get onto an airplane, the air traveling over the wing travels faster than the air under the wing. And so what you end up having is a vacuum being caused. So essentially, when you go down the runway really fast on an airplane, because of the shape of the airfoil, the plane is sucked up into the air. It's just a physical principle thing. So this thing, that blade, which is shaped kind of like an airplane wing, you turn this on. Whew, you turn this on, and you can feel it. It has just a tiny bit of suction, enough to, to bring in any of those little fibery things that are on your sweater that you want to remove. Okay. And what's nice about this is, you see this? I can put my hand here. It's not going to cut me. So it kind of can be very safe for your sweaters. I've seen other things on the market that are basically like a giant razor blade, that you can kind of bring over your items. I'd be terrified that I would cut my things up with something like that. But these are really nice. This one is under $10 on Amazon. Takes 2 AA batteries. Very simple device. And then when this gets full, you manhandle it. And it has a little catch thing. You just, whoop, there goes some right there. And it empties out the fuzz. And you can throw that away, or whatever you do with your lint. All right. So I just wanted to mention that. I do talk about that. It's just a very short video if you haven't seen it. I have the link on the video for where you can get that on Amazon. Of course, they have many others, and there are more expensive ones on there as well. But I just think it's a really cool idea, especially if you have an old sweater and you want to recover it. You don't, have the heart to throw it away, but you don't really want to wear it anymore because it looks so gross. I have a few that I need to do that too, actually, as I'm thinking about it. So yeah. Well, what is coming on Monday? Okay, finally, the Saxon Sunshine scarf is coming on Monday. Okay. This features the Saxon cable down the center, and it's framed with 2 elongated cables. Okay, this is using my cabling system. Along the side here, you have the two stitch basket weave along the side, and then you have straight ribbing across the bottom. Now, I made this using 3 skeins of this beautiful hand-dyed yarn from Create Yarnworks. The information will be in the video description once this information goes live. And I did include this in the watch channel information. I generally, keep it ad-free, but I figured if you want to find where you can purchase the yarn, I'm just sending that link to you. I'm not profiting from it in any way. There's no affiliate link here. So this is coming. Now, suppose you don't want to make this out of fancy pants yarn. You just want to use yarn in your stash. That's fine. The yardage I used in this is around 13 to 1400 yards. There was 440 yards in each. I didn't use every single bit of it, but close. So yeah, about, let's say 1400 yards, just to be on the safe side. Now that's of a fingering weight yarn. If you have, it would probably be about that, or maybe between 1400 to maybe 1800 yards if you're using larger yarn. And if you wanted like a super scarf, you want to make this in number 4 weight yarn, you can so do that. Just make sure that you upsize your hook to match your yarn, and you can make this into an even wider stole or super scarf, as I mentioned. So anyway, the Sunshine Saxon scarf is coming on Monday. It is available now in my Etsy stores and in my Lovecraft stores. If you buy the patterns today, the videos are not going to be activated until Monday. Just be aware of that. So don't, it's like, the video is not working. Well, it'll start working on Monday. It's just the way things are on YouTube. If you schedule something, it becomes a private video. So I can't share it. All right. Hannah, let's see. Hannah send me some more. Okay, and Elizabeth wants to know, "Hey Bonnie, have you ever seen the linked or DC done? I've sort of modified one of your scarf patterns. K extended is better description to do a baby blanket." Okay. I have seen that. Yeah, I have. I haven't really incorporated it into a lot yet. I think the difference is there are a lot of people out there that are afraid of having holes in their crochet. I'm not. I think it's just part of the way our craft looks. I'm not afraid of them, but I understand why people would want to kind of fill it in. I think Crystal even has a video on having to do that. I just didn't want to introduce too much confusion if the pattern is already complicated. But thank you for letting me know that I have seen that out there. And uh, okay, and then from Charlie, I'm trying to understand. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Charlie. Yeah. Yeah, Mikey and Bag of Day, Crystal from Bag of Day. Yeah, they are definitely oh, thank you so much. They are really great folks. Yeah. Actually, I got to meet I haven't met Crystal before, but years ago when I was in I think I was it was in Manchester, New Hampshire at a Crochet Guild conference at a professional development day and sat next to Mikey all day long. And this was kind of funny. It was really interesting to hear him talk. Um, he he's very hardworking. I mean, I will say that he has been very hardworking. I think people don't realize how much work it is to do this YouTube stuff. I mean, it looks easy because everybody sees the final result and everything. But I just remember him saying just that it's he loves what he does, but it's the hardest work he's ever done in his life. And that was like 2012, 2013. That was a long time ago. That was before, things really exploded, for him and his channel. And that was before I was even thinking of doing YouTube at all. I just had some silly, not silly, but I just had just stitch videos, no thumbnails, just to help with these leaflets that I had on the market. I had no ambition as far as doing what I do now because it just wasn't a thing people were doing. I think he was one of the pioneers in doing that. Oh, thank you, Hannah. But thank you so much, Charles. That's a sweet comment. Thank you. I for even including me with that. That's amazing. Um, all right. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, I wanted to tell you about something that my husband and I watched this week on Prime. For those of you who are Amazon Prime members. I confess I am. um, I get a lot of things from Amazon that I just can't get. And now it's going to be probably get worse because Joann's going away. And I would get things locally sourced as much as I can. But when you're looking for oddball things, like, where in the world would you buy one of these? I mean, I've never seen these anywhere except online. Um, so it does come in handy for a lot. Um, and where was I going with this? Oh yeah. But anyway, the Prime has some excellent documentaries out there. I can't endorse all of them, and the ones I'm going to mention to you now, they're not for children. Okay, I'll just say that they cover a period of our history that it's not for the faint of heart. When you have documentaries that talk about what went on during the 60s and 70s, yeah, this is not for children viewing. But as a musician, and I listen to both of these groups, I love uh, their music. Um, so there's one, I'm going to adjust the title just a little bit. And the title is "What the Heck Happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears?" That musical group, if you remember that, they sang, "Spinning Wheel." You've heard that song before, I'm sure. They all use winds, they use horns, real instruments, yes, in their bands. He It was just a fascinating story. It's something I had never heard before. So if you've never heard what happened to Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and especially concerning their trip behind the Iron Curtain, you should watch it. It's fascinating. But just know, just a language alert, there is some of that there. And we watched one last night on the group Chicago, or they used to be called Chicago Transit Authority, or CTA. And love listening to their music. I know you're familiar with them, the 25 or 6 to 4. 25 or 6 to 4. Dun, da, 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 da. You know that. Wonderful, wonderful. Just to see them and hear their story. Although the story on Blood, Sweat, and Tears I found was much more compelling. But it's just interesting. Chicago is still touring 100 shows a year. So if you're interested in, in watching a 50-year-old jazz rock group, see if they're in your area. I'm sure they put on quite a show. But anyway, again, language warning for both of those. But yeah, the documentaries are always fascinating to see what they've come through, and kind of what happened along the way. Let me go ahead and finish up and see if there's anything that I've left out. Hannah, thank you so much for what you're doing there. And Felicia says, I went to Joann's yesterday. I just have enough money to get everything. Oh my goodness. And Stephanie says, are all closing or just some? I thought it was only some stores. Well, that's what it was last week. The news has changed to all stores, Stephanie. And I don't even think they're going to maintain an online presence either. I think it's just all going away. So good luck on where to find fabric. I can get my yarn sourced in other places, but if you're looking for sewing things, I don't know what I would do in Gaithersburg. There's one other store down in Rockville, very expensive, very exclusive, and I'd have to be really desperate to go to get stuff there. It's a lot of traffic to go through as well. Thanks for answering that question, Hannah. And JN says, hello. I am working on a hill far away, pale yellow Afghan for my daughter as a housewarming gift. She's moving into her first ever rental home today. It's coming out beautiful so far. Yay, JH. I'm so glad to hear that. Or JN, I'm sorry. That's music to my ears. It makes me uncomfortable when people struggle with these things, but I am here to try to help in any way that I can. And Stephanie says, "Aw, that is so sweet." And Wanda says, "I didn't realize they were closing in North Carolina." Yeah, Wanda, last week I said, yeah, they're keeping the one open in Myrtle Beach. Yay! But not now. They're all going away. I think the ones that were the first 500 to go are going away like now through the end of March. And at least the latest that I heard, which is subject to change in the next 5 minutes, but I heard that the 300s that they were going to keep, they may be staying around till May. I think they're going to probably empty out their warehouses into the 300. And that's what it sounds like they're going to do. Oh, I did have one other thing to show you, and I just got it in my lap here and just yakking away and just completely forgot. I have another March kind of a, feature. This is an older pattern that was released a while back. Let's see if I can get it to show you. This is an asymmetrical scarf, and the way I like to wear those is wrap them around here, put that cable in front where everybody can see it, and then you can pin it or use some of your jewel design stud buttons to hold it in place. But the Kiss Me I'm Irish scarf, you can make it as a scarf, or you can make it, you can wear it as a shawl as well. It's a little asymmetrical, but if you don't mind that, you can certainly put it over your shoulders, as a shawl. This has been on my channel for a long time, and I think I put the link down there, but if not, it's in the playlist for scarves on this channel. So the Kiss Me I'm Irish, and it's so much fun to make. You just are mostly working waddle stitches once you get past the bottom part here, and then you crochet the cable section. Now the cable remains constant as you come through, and then this side is increasing as you go along according to the directions. I don't remember exactly how I did that, but um, just do this as you can make it as big as you want. And then I just finished it off again with that post ribbing, which is so convenient. So if you're looking for an Irish project, or you can just take green yarn and do whatever you want, right? So anyway, and okay, so from Oddballs, that's an interesting name. Says, I'd like to make one of your shawls for a raffle prize at a Renaissance festival. Which one would you say is the most unisex? Huh. Okay, a shawl. Like a shawl or like a super scarf. I don't really know. I think some of them, I think if they have like ribbing, um, like this, if they have ribbing on both ends and just cables, I think that can be, for anybody, for a guy or gal, it doesn't matter. And of course, depending on the colors that you choose. Well, again, depending on who's getting it, but I would stick with kind of an earth tone, lighter color. Um, Take a look at the stalls. There's a playlist in on my homepage. Look under playlist and look for scarves. And then you can also look under there's a poncho, shawls, and stoles. Look into that playlist, and there probably, I think one of those has like at least 90 videos in it that you can look at to see which one you would like. You can also go to, um, there's also a honeycomb scarf that can be made wider. And that was actually modeled by a man. That was something that I did in collaboration with Annie's or Crochet World magazine. So, yeah. So, and if you're not sure, you can always just email me. I'll be glad to, send you some pictures if that's what you need. All right. Oh my goodness, it's 101 already. Where did my cursor go? Okay, here we go. Yeah, and Esther, so glad to have you in the chat, my dear. Um, and she's working on one just like that. And Renee, good morning. And and Stephanie says, now I wonder where I can get the care on Simply Soft. I would check Michael's, or you can check on Yarn Inspirations online because they're the source of Caron. I'm sure they have a way to ship. I'm pretty sure they do. And yeah, just like Esther said. Yes, very good, Esther. Thank you for answering that. And Samantha says, hi, I'm in the UK. I have made your Celtic patterns, which I love. Just want to say thank you. Oh, thank you, Samantha. You have a beautiful country there, by the way. I so enjoyed being there in 2019 before mayhem broke out. And yeah, thank you, Hannah, for thank you, Taylor. I mean, Samantha Taylor, for your kind support there too. And Jane says, evening, everyone. Hope everyone's okay. Yeah, hope you're doing all right too, Jane. And Laura says, thing just jumped right as I'm trying to read it. Ugh. All right, give me patience here. It just jumped right out of my eyes, so I couldn't see it. Am I really that far behind? Wow. Renee says, I went to Joann's and did a video yesterday. It is still fully stocked and will be open until April, May. You need to tell us where you live, Renee. Well, no, you don't really, but maybe one of those stores that they were going to retain for a while. I can't believe I'm so far behind. Okay. Okay, here we go. Laura, I finally found it again. Says, I'm crocheting a blanket for my granddaughter. Okay, we've already answered that one. Okay, yeah, we've done that one. I'm just finally coming to it in the chat. Felicia's telling Wanda about, Greensboro, Winston-Salem are on the list. Ugh. And good afternoon, Tammy. Finally getting to your comment. And Patty, great to have you here. And Elizabeth says, hi, Bonnie. I'm using I'm usually on my Fire tablet and no chat on live, so this is a surprise. I'm on my phone. Yeah, that's weird that it wouldn't have the chat on the Fire tablet, but maybe it's just not. I don't know. I don't understand all that stuff. um, yes, and love to craft. I hope you got the link. She says, "Do you have a link for that?" I have a denim vest that I'd like to add crochet sleeves to. Just look in. If you go to my homepage and look under, just hit videos and just scroll. You'll see it's more of a recent thing I've done in the last few months. Um, oh, great! So Chrysanthemum. I'm going to mess it up now. um, Chrysanthi. Okay, she said you did great on the name. Love your work. You make it look so easy. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Renee Unraveled. I love that name. So what's yeah, that's the one about the video. Yeah, you need to tell us where you're where you are. Um, and Tammy says it's been so dry. Bonnie, what do you? Okay, we did that. We covered that. And Denise says waiting for a surgery date to remove a polyp. I know about that. My dad suffered with that, Denise. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And thank you, Felicia, for praying for her. Yeah, that can be scary. And Laurie says, hello, been gone for a while. I bought a house, so I had to move, but I'm back. Welcome back. Oh, it's a lot, isn't it, to move, to sell, buy and sell? Oh, God bless you. That's a lot. Um, and and Alana, we'll see you when you can. And Freaky Geek says, Bonnie is so sweet. I would think she uses honey on her lips. Thank you. That would taste good, wouldn't it? That would be sticky. Thank you, Freaky Geek. Um, let's see. And yes, thank you for caring for Hannah. Love to craft. And let's see. She says, Freaky Geek saying, hope all are well and ready for the weekend. Yes, indeed. And Kendall's just joining us from Seattle, Washington. Welcome, Kendall. And oh, thank you, Elizabeth. She says, I really love the jacket. I'm thinking of going to a second-hand store to try to find one, and then they make new sleeves. That's what I highly recommend. Don't do what I did. If you have a fancy pants Italian, you know, denim jacket, I would hesitate to cut anything off of something like that. And yes, I do have one of those upstairs that I got on clearance at one point in time, and I'm not doing anything special to it. I might do some things, but I'm not going to do anything radical like cut the sleeves off. But I do have quite a few that I bought from secondhand stores or thrift stores for very cheap, as well as some of the crochet that I'm going to be demonstrating in this class that I got very inexpensively, not from slave labor, but from antique stores. So it was a rescue mission, is the way I look at that. These are antiques that people didn't want anymore from their family members. And I graciously rescued them from their fate in the antique store. And they're going to get lots of airtime going forward. So, um, Freaky Geek says to Elizabeth, if it's a secondhand jacket, should you not make one old sleeves? Ha 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 ha. Hope that goes well for you. Yes. All right. Well, let me see if there's anything else that I am missing. Because I do want to read a little bit. Okay. I did get that. Thank you guys. You're so sweet. Where did my cursor go again? Here we go. And oh, wow. When Renee says, I love how you do the cables. I've done that in knitting for years. Well, God bless you. Yeah, I've done it I've dabbled in cables with knitting. So I kind of learned how to do it because I wanted to learn how to do that. Um, I prefer my hook. I can just do them so much easier that way. But I was glad I got to understand how knitters do those with the little cabling things and all. I had to demystify that for myself. And Kelly says, I'm thinking about crocheting the sweater that had shown us. I was wondering when I finish it, can I sell it inventory. Yes, if you anything made from my patterns or really anybody else's, I mean, unless stated by the creator, you can sell them. The thing that's not okay to sell is copies of the pattern, um, or the rights to the pattern. I mean, I own the rights to the patterns, but yeah, you can sell whatever on Etsy, wherever, things made from my designs. I encourage you to do that actually. The only thing that I ask for where it's appropriate is designer credit. If someone asks, where did you get the pattern? No, don't. I would appreciate it if you could just say this is where the pattern's from, and that's all that I ask. Pretty simple. I have Ekstrom from Sweden. Just came home a bit late this afternoon. So glad you can make it. And Jessie says Crystal is a gem. I believe she is too. I mean, I don't know her personally, but I think she is just genuinely has a big heart for people as well as animals too. And MDL Crochet, welcome to the chat. Um, and Anna Marie says, hello, Bonnie and Hannah. Hope you're having a great day. Yes, this is a good day. Fridays are always good. I get to hang out with my besties here online. Um, and Carrie says, I'm an adventurous beginner crocheter, but I enjoy learning new stitches to try. Absolutely, Carrie. Don't ever be afraid of making mistakes and making a mess of yarn. It's just yarn. Pull it out, try again. Yeah, mistakes are allowed and are a welcome part of the process. Maybe not they're not welcomed, but maybe not by you, but it's definitely a part of the process, to make mistakes. Make mistakes, get messy, have fun. That's Miss Frizzle's theme and about science, and I just definitely want to apply that. Um, okay, we've talked about that. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. She says she likes the scarves. This diehard lover of your scarves. Thank you. I am going to go ahead though. I don't. Okay, I'm going to have to just end because I know Hannah's got her duties, and I wanted to read a little something to you. This is more on the lighthearted side. I'm reading out of the book that I'm going to be sending to Kelly today. I have several copies of this. I just love the book so much. My daughter-in-law gave this to me for Christmas. She knows that Elizabeth Elliot is one of my heroes of the Christian faith. Um, anyway, I'm just going to read a little bit from this. This is Christian encouragement. So um, put that in the proper context. And I read these things to encourage you all. I need to hear this encouragement every day. As you all know, we're drinking from a fire hose now of information that's thrown at us, and a lot of it is garbage. And so I just need the truth just to remind me often. And so this is concerning, and I read this. I sent some of these to my son yesterday because I thought he would really be encouraged by it. That is talking about gifts from God. And I really believe the skill of crochet or fiber arts or whatever you like to do, whether it's painting or or writing or even just the gift of encouraging other people. There's so many different gifts from God. And I just wanted to um, read this to my gifted friends. Want you to feel encouraged. First one is by Vance Havner. And I love this. He says, we must stir up the gift of God like sugar in the lemonade. It may be there, but it needs to be set in motion. Isn't that good? And Hannah Withall Smith writes, God is the giver, and we are the receivers, and his richest gifts are not bestowed upon those who do the greatest thing, but upon those who accept his abundance and grace. Amen to that. And I love this one. I'm going to end this right here with a quote from C.S. Lewis. If you've never read a book by C.S. Lewis, you're missing out big time. Start with Mere Christianity. And if you like fiction, read his space trilogy. Read the Chronicles of Narnia. I know they're children's books, but they are written for adults too. Fantastic writing. Not the movies. Read the books. They're better. And so C.S. Lewis writes, God gives his gifts where he finds the vessel empty enough to receive them. Oh my gosh, that just touches my heart. Let me read it again. God gives his gifts where he finds the vessel empty enough to receive them. Oh, I love that. So it's not about greatness, bestowing greatness, but it's just fulfilling a need. I just love that. I just love reading his word, and I love reading the words of those who read his word. So anyway, um, I just hope you have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you all here next week. I'm planning on going live again. You never know. So I will be quick to post things, on social media. I think I neglected to do the community post this week on YouTube. I'm sorry, things got away from me, but looking forward to seeing y'all next week. God bless. Bye bye.